him around, and he would eventually, catch him with some shots. He hit him with a lot of shots. He looked fantastic tonight, and I couldn't be more proud of him.
Do you think he's proud of his performance? I know that you were in there speaking with him.
He's not. He's very upset with himself. He feels like that fight was there for the taking, and he thinks that the fight was stopped early. I was good with the stoppage. He's not a professional boxer. He stepped in there to
even mentioning that for so, and he was when he was giving the instructions, he was looking right at me. I want a clear fight, and I was almost, before we started the fight, I was almost going to say, mate, he's in the fight as well, because he was hitting me when we were tied up as well. But I thought the ref did a great job from letting the fight play out. I just think the stoppage was a little early. Let me go out with my shield. Let me go down. You know what I mean? There was a minute left, 50 seconds left. Look very, very closely before you stop a fight of that magnitude. Not rattled once. So what can you do? In a way, I'm happy for them. 50 and all. You know what I mean? They rolled in and took the belt and took the money belt and all the things called. What way would that have been? So what can you do? Fair play to him. I'll take my hat off to him every day. He was composed. I don't think he was as single shots. Good straight right hands to the body. But I had him early rounds, I thought, and then whatever. It's his composure that won him that fight, and his experience. So hats off to him.
Is this the most you've enjoyed yourself in your fighting career?
Man, I enjoy fighting. Period. All fights. I love fighting. I don't think. Have you interviewed me after a fight? I love a good knock. That was a good knock with a good, solid competitor. That's it. I was like, fair play to you. You kept composure. I thought I had you in the early rounds, but you kept smart. You kept composed, and you took me out towards the end. Fair play to you. But when I took you back in that force exchange, it would have been over there and then. That's the truth. Like he was throwing his right hand. He threw his right hand, and then he'd leave his frame here. And when his frame was on me, I'd peel.
What's up, gang? Any questions for me? Because I'm tired.
Hey, Dana in the back over here.
Yeah.
In the back. Can you assess Conor's performance in your opinion? Did he do better than you thought? Was this what you saw in training at the Performance Institute?
Yeah, no, I'm so proud of Conor tonight, man. It's not the fight that I thought it was going to be. It was a completely different fight than I expected. Conor, when you get into professional boxing, right? And, you guys know you start 4 rounds, you fight 6 rounds. You went 10 rounds tonight with arguably the greatest to ever do it. Max Kellerman, I've been trying to get a hold of him. He ain't answering his phone right now, but he said that Conor wouldn't land one punch on Floyd Mayweather. There were a lot of people that were super negative about, this boxing match with Floyd, and Conor looked unbelievable. I'm sure you guys probably already saw this, but if you didn't, the CompuBox numbers were in 9 of Floyd Mayweather's fights where it went 12 rounds. His opponents hit him with less than 100 punches. Conor hit him with 111 in less than 10 rounds. So it was a great fight. I'm really proud of Conor.
And David, just to follow up on that a little bit, given how well he did in the fight, against a long guy, if he chose to box again, would you endorse that and would you work with him on it?
I'm sorry, what did you say, Kevin?
I just said if he chose to box again, given how well he did, would you endorse that and work with him on that?
I would rather he did not. This isn't what he does. He's a mixed martial artist where he goes in and he fights and he uses all of his weapons, and tonight he was only allowed to use his hands. I think he did great tonight. I don't think there's anything else left to prove. I would rather he fight mixed martial arts.
Gene, I guess just to kind of follow up on that, let's not talk about Conor McGregor specifically. I mean, this was a special, unique event. Would you be open to entertaining the idea of ever doing this, a cross-promotional bout like this again?
I'm ready to get back to the UFC and do what I do. These guys were amazing to work with. No bullshit, you know me. These guys were awesome. The Team Mayweather, Al Heyman, much respect. These guys were, like I said, I was expecting something completely different coming in to work with these guys because of how long it took to make the Pacquiao fight. But it wasn't. I can tell you, it wasn't this side. That I can promise you. These guys have been fantastic.
And of course, the question on every UFC fan's mind is when is Conor McGregor going to step back to the octagon? I know it's early, but have you had a chance to speak with him at all? I mean, any indication of what should and could come next for him in the UFC?
Yeah, I've been back there with him pretty much this whole time, and we're not talking about fighting tonight. You know, he put on a great performance. We're not talking about fighting. You know how he is, man. When he's ready, he'll let me know.
Dana over here. What's your response after the event tonight to people who said this was going to be a circus, that it would be a farce?
Yeah, you know, you have to have negative people, man. When you're doing stuff like this, it creates the debate and the back and forth. But I knew Conor McGregor's a fighter, you know, and we saw a fight tonight. I don't know if tonight was the best boxing you've ever seen, but we saw a fight. And I mean, Conor was in here landing jabs on Floyd Mayweather. He was hitting him with right hands, he hit him with a big uppercut, hitting him with nice body shots. Conor McGregor looked damn good tonight to me. I don't know what everybody else thinks, but I thought he looked awesome, and I'm proud of him.
Do you think your heavyweight champion, Stipe Miocic, would do well in a boxing match?
I don't even want to talk about my other guys in a boxing match. This was one of those, you know, two big superstars. This thing built from the bottom up, from the fans to the media, and then up to us when we even started remotely considering something like this. And it was just a real special event and a rare event. I'm not looking to do this again.
Hey, Dana, straight back, all the way back.
Yeah.
Considering that he did as well as he did tonight against Floyd, what do you think would have been the case if he had started out like a regular boxer? Where you mentioned before, guys going 4 rounds, 6 rounds. Tonight he went 10 with Floyd Mayweather. Had some experience, not just coming on his pro debut.
I got nothing. What I announced the other night at the Celtics game is where we're at right now. Nothing has changed.
So nothing done with Mayweather,
No, nothing's changed. Next week.
Did he sign the executable agreement?
Who?
Conor?
Yeah.
How much money?
He's going to make a couple bucks. He's going to do all right. Listen, if this fight goes off, if it even happens, and if the thing does what everybody thinks it can do, Conor's going to make a lot of money.
Do you think the time will be just to the amount of money that's in this contract with Mayweather? Is it all about that dollar amount?
What do you think?
In your opinion, does it all hinge upon the dollar amount on that contract with Mayweather?
No, on Mayweather's side, it's going to be whether we can come to a deal or not to put on this event.
A date for that now. That was the date that we were shooting for, provided we could get the deals done. And we're not even that far along in the process, so I guess I don't need to worry about the date anymore.
Okay, well, if a date can't be arranged in 2017, do you think there's any chance we see Conor fight in the UFC this year at all?
Yeah, Conor wants to fight. Conor wants to fight Floyd. Conor wants to fight twice this year. So, we'll just have to see how this thing plays out.
Okay, well, a superstar showdown. A lot of people are very excited for that. Now, talking about timelines, last month in Buffalo, you did say we could expect a date for the return of Georges St-Pierre within about a week. Any update on that front?
Nope. Obviously, I was expecting him to fight this summer. That is not the case, so we'll see what happens. I know he recently came out and said he'd like to fight in November. I like Georges St-Pierre. He's a great guy. We'll see. We'll see what happens.
We'll see. Well, to some other Canadian news, the UFC recently announcing UFC 216 would be held in Edmonton. What made you choose Edmonton for this year's lone Canadian pay-per-view?
Well, listen, you know how I feel about Canada. I've said it a million times. Love it up there. Some of the greatest events we've ever held have been in Canada, and it's time for Edmonton.
Time for Edmonton. Love it. Now, looking ahead to this weekend, you have heavyweights in the main event. Stipe Miocic versus Junior Dos Santos. Dos Santos won their first match. That went 5 rounds. You expecting a similar slugfest this time around?
I don't know. It's interesting.
KO in my career.
And you think that's a realistic possibility?
I believe so. Size, reach, power, precision, all in my favor. I hit you, you fall.
A broken man. What was your message to him on the stage there after the weigh-in?
He can't keep up with me in my pace. No way. I'm gonna run through him.
How do you think this fight will go? Tell the world how you think this fight will go.
What? Knockout. He's gonna be stiff. He's gonna go like this, and then he's gonna hit the floor at 100 miles an hour, like they all do. I turn men into statues, and then they crash on the canvas.